If you own an apartment in the Eastern Suburbs, you can probably see a crane from your window. There is more new development coming through rosebay and Bondi Junction than at almost any point in my career. And it has changed the question my clients bring me. The question is this: if I can buy brand new, off the plan, or I can buy the same apartment in a building that's 10 or 15 years old, which is the better buy? I'm Alan Weiss, 35 years selling in the East, and rather than give you an opinion, let me give you the sales. Real apartments, real addresses, what they were bought for and what they've just sold for. Reduced to the one figure that lets you compare like with like, the price per square meter of internal space. Let's start our market analysis with the suburb of rosebay. A brand new 3-bedroom in rosebay today will ask you somewhere around $6.5 million. Call it $50,000 a square meter of internal space. That's the benchmark. Hold it in your head. Now here is what established apartments in the same suburb have actually done. Newcastle Street, a 3-bedroom, 191 square meter, bought back in 2007 for $2,225,000, about $11,500 a square meter. It sold this year for $4,200,000. That's just under $22,000 a meter, up 89%. Hamilton Street, a 3-bedroom of 156 square meters, bought off the plan in 2012 for $1,900,000, about $12,000 a meter. Sold last year for $3,680,000, just under $24,000 a meter, up 94%. Now let's take a look at the newer projects. Now the newer ones, Newcastle Street again, a 3-bedroom, 136 square meters, bought off the plan in 2020 for $3,800,000. That's nearly $28,000 a square meter. It resold last year for $4,600,000, up 21% in 5 years. Or Sullivan Road, a 3-bedroom bought off the plan also in 2020 for $3,900,000, about $29,000 a meter, sold this year for $6,165,000. That looks like a strong result, and it is, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't say why. That apartment came with a garden of 239 square meters. Buyers paid for the outdoor space and the rarity of it. They did not pay for the building being newer. It was the land and rare features. So look at what the numbers say. The owners who bought in at $11,000 and $12,000 a square meter nearly doubled their money. The ones who paid $28,000 to get in have made 21% in 5 years. And the gap is the problem. And good established stock in rosebay today changes hands at roughly $20,000 to $24,000 a square meter. So the question asks itself, if the established apartment clears at 20-something thousand a meter, how does anyone justify $50,000 a meter for the new one going up next door? Bondi Junction tells the same story and louder, because there's a great deal more coming. There are new projects on Oxford Street and Grafton Street, asking around $45,000 a square meter. Here's what's actually been selling. Let's look at the data. Waverley Crescent, a 3-bedroom, 170 square meters, bought off the plan in 2013 for $2,160,000, under $13,000 a meter, sold in February this year for $3,400,000, $20,000 a meter, up 57%. Oxford Street, a 2-bedroom, 83 square meters, bought off the plan in 2013 for $1,100,000, about $13,000 a meter, sold this year for $1,770,000, up 61%. Another on Oxford Street, 2-bedroom, 80 square meters, bought off the plan in 2015 for $1,350,000, sold last year for $1,720,000, up 27%. And note the entry rate was already higher, at nearly $17,000 a meter. Now the ones bought at the top. This is where it gets very interesting. Oxford Street, A 2-bedroom bought off the plan in 2022 for $1,735,000, nearly $22,000 a metre. Sold in 2025 for $1,925,000, up 11%. Another, a 3-bedroom, 121 square meters, bought off the plan in 2019 for $2,205,000, $18,000 a metre. Sold in June this year for $2,600,000, up 18% in 7 years. And then the one I keep coming back to, a prestige 3-bedroom on Oxford Street, 150 square meters. Bought off the plan in 2017 for $5,750,000. That is more than $38,000 a square meter, an enormous number for the day. It sold in February this year for $6,625,000, up 15% in 9 years. Beautiful building, excellent location, superb common areas. None of that was the problem. The price paid to get in was the problem. We need to be very clear about that. Start with Rosebay, Sydney. Line the 12 sails up, and the pattern is almost mechanical, and it runs the opposite way to the marketing. Everyone who bought in between $11,000 and $17,000 a square meter made between 57 and 94%. Everyone who bought in above $27,000 made between 11 and 21%. The people who did best paid the least per meter to get in. The people who did worst paid the most. Now put new stock on that same scale, $45,000 to $55,000 a square meter. That is not a valuation, it's the cost of building in 2026 with the margin, the GST, the marketing, and the holding costs stacked on top. And it is a level that took the best established apartments on my list 15 to 19 years of solid growth to reach. So the buyer of new isn't getting in early, they're getting in at the ceiling. Let's look at the rent, and the rental market won't help you either. A 7-year-old apartment and a brand new one, same size, same street, let for much the same money, so you pay roughly double the capital for identical income. That is a critical factor. I'll put it plainly, because it's what I tell you across the kitchen table. A bedroom is a bedroom. The construction hasn't changed. The room sizes haven't changed. The good buildings of a decade ago already had the designer kitchens and the designer lobbies. And new is new for exactly 1 day. You settle it, and it begins aging into the very stock it was priced above. I don't believe there's an argument for paying double the rate per meter for that. The value and the opportunity sits in a good, modern, established apartment by the building. The floor plan, the aspect, the light, the location, and be very careful about paying extra for a date if you're weighing a move, buying, selling, or downsizing. I'm always happy to give you a straight private view. You'll find me on 0412 176 074. I'm Alan Weiss. Thank you for your time today.